Thanks for joining us for this week's update with the Mayor of New Hope, Kathi Hemken, to tell you what's new in the city and also what might be coming up. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I'm fine. Didn't we have a lovely summer last weekend?
Unbelievable. And I understand that you were out at that beautiful place right behind you in the picture. How was the golf course?
It, well, the course was beautiful. The golfer had a little bit of trouble.
It's early in the season, right? You're not in mid-season form quite yet.
Well, that's true.
We'll talk more about the golf course in just a minute because they are going to be open, it sounds like, until something might happen with the weather. More on that in a minute. Let's go to community development first and this week's update for you of what's happening in New Hope. And we want to talk about the street banners. We've talked about the great partnership for some time here, and now it's time to actually see them out on the poles. Exciting time for the city.
Well, not only for the city, but for the gal that designed them. So we had a collaboration with Hennepin Technical College, and we told them what we were looking for, and one of their students actually designed the banners. We had them printed, and so they're going up this week. I understand she's going to take her child and drive up and down the street so the child can see the banners that mom did. I think that's pretty exciting.
Fantastic. A lot of selfies out there on the roadway with the banner right behind, I am
Yeah.
sure. Let's go to scatter site housing. Lots of updates here and lots of positive activity. First is 3611 Louisiana. What is the latest on that property?
Well, we bought that, tore the house down, got the lot ready, sold it to a developer. And as they're starting to put the house up, the house sold, or they had a purchase agreement. So now they're going to close on that on the 30th of April. So that house will be off the market after that.
Next property is over on 42nd and Boone at that corner. And this is kind of a fun one you get to see in different stages of scattered site housing. We've got one done about and one really just starting up.
So the South House is just about done. There's a signed purchase agreement. I don't have a date. They said sometime in April. They'll be closing on that. And they have started building on the North House. So what they've done is they dug the hole and the blocks are in. They're going to start framing it up this week. So you can just see the progress of the two houses being built. Both those houses, by the way, are going to face Boone Avenue. And so it'll be a little bit congested there for just a while. And if you can find another way to go, you probably should do it.
Next property is 5692 Boone Place, a new address as this house again moved what it was facing. And it sounds like another closing very soon coming.
That one is, yeah, we're going to close sometime before the end of March. So that has been torn down and the ground is ready for the developer. We do have a developer, but just waiting for that closing to happen.
Last property to update you on is 7311 62nd Avenue. And this has some neat statistics to go with this. What's the path that this house has taken?
Well, I'm going to have to look at this because I want to make sure the numbers are right. So this was a scattered site housing in May of 2019. So in 2019, it went on the market for $319,900. The next year it went back on the market for $359,900. And I understand it is back on the market for $425,000. So the house prices are just going crazy. They don't have a buyer for it yet. It just got back on the market, but I think that's just amazing.
Yeah, interesting stat there. Let's talk about the business networking group. Again, community development involved in the business community as well. They've got a meeting coming up very quickly here for those watching this early on. You might still be able to get there. What is the next meeting?
That's on the 6th of March, and it's being hosted by St. Therese, and it will be held at the City Hall. Just a side piece of that, St. Therese, I know, is giving tours of their updated facility on the 15th of March. So if you're interested in a tour, they're also having a fish fry with that tour. So if you're interested in a fish and a tour, give St. Therese a call.
Very nice. And right on that same corner, a new business had a ribbon cutting this past week, and it was a grand event. And this has a little bit more than people might expect if they look at the front of the building. What's inside?
Wow. That's that gas station, and it's been sitting there forever, it seems. Well, we had the grand opening, the ribbon cutting on the 1st of March. And of course, they had all kinds of nibbles to taste after we cut the ribbon. One of them was fried chicken, and it is so good. It's just so they have a lot of fresh food that's cooked actually, and you can just kind of grab it and go as you get your gas. really a handy location. They seem like they're going to be doing a really good business there.
Hats off to the new group there, and you see some of the pictures as well of the fun that was had by all at that event. Moving ahead to the police department was busy helping out another police department down to the south with a great service that was held this past week. Tell us about some of the involvement New Hope had with Burnsville.
Well, our police chief, as well as 6 officers and our administrative specialists, were down there for the public memorial service in Burnsville. One of our police officers was down helping the Eden Prairie Police Department. And then, this is interesting, our animal control guy was playing the bagpipes with the Emerald Society at the memorial service. So they were pretty involved.
Great way for them to get involved and show their respect. Let's move ahead to Public Works. A lot happening out and about in the community. And the first is again with the emerald ash borer and those trees. They are busy trying to clean things up. What's the latest progress report there?
Well, Public Works is just thrilled with this weather, by the way. They're getting a lot of stuff done early. Just gives them more time to do some of the other stuff they need to do. So they're still tagging those emerald ash trees on the boulevards and on the public land that need to come down. And when they can, they're taking them down and doing some stump grinding. The other things that are happening is that apparently ball fields need maintenance, and we need to train the people who do the maintenance on the ball fields. So they're getting maintenance on ball field training maintenance right now. They go around and they inspect all of the playgrounds on a monthly basis. So they're doing that to make sure that the equipment's not broken, nothing needs to be repaired. So they're busy doing that kind of stuff too. Now, the last thing, and this one's kind of fun, we got 2 new snowplows. And we're going to have a Name the Snowplow contest.
Nice.
I don't know when. It's probably going to come out pretty quick. There'll be something, either I'll tell people or it'll be on our website. Now, I'm not positive, but I think there's a male and a female snowplow. Okay. So we're looking for girls' names as well as boys' names. What's going to happen is people are going to suggest names, and then we'll have some open voting, and whoever gets the most votes is what we're going to name the snowplows.
Sounds like great fun. All right, stay with us and watch for more as we get more information about that. Back out to the streets, let's talk about the infrastructure improvement project from last year. A couple final things to be buttoned up on that. Is that correct?
It is. So this is from Boone to Winnetka, 36th to 33rd. And what they'll do is they'll just kind of do a walkthrough, drive through to make sure that the work is complete. It looks good. They'll make sure that the grounds that were affected by it, people's lawns, are going to get repaired. A lot of this stuff happens in the spring. One of the things that happened is a piece of the pavement kind of sunk. So they're going back and they'll fix that piece of pavement. When you're in one of these infrastructure projects and there's something that goes wrong, you really need to let us know so we can get out there and look at it and make sure that we get the contractor back out there to fix what we want these projects to go well. And it really helps when the citizens let us know.
So a lot of work happening on that site in spring here to finish that up, and also finishing things up in spring here up on 169 and that noise wall that's been going on for some time. How is that coming? What have you heard?
I am so sick of that noise wall. It just sits. Well, I think they came and they think it's a parking lot because they've got all their equipment there and not a whole lot is happening. However, they tell us that they will have it complete in the spring. Now, spring officially starts on the 19th of March and it goes for a couple months. So I don't know what that means, but I sure wish they'd hurry up and get that done.
We'll keep our eye on it for people as well, and that will help with some of the traffic in that area. Now let's go to Park and Rec, talk about a lot that's happening as the seasons shift here. And one of your great partners, Rev Sports, is just winding up their last part of the season from the winter, I understand. What kind of sports are involved?
Basketball and volleyball. So they're just starting their last session of that. I don't know how many weeks the sessions are, but they're just starting their last session of that. We have a very active dance program at New Hope, and they had a dance competition showcase last week. And after that, they ask people if they'd bring food for the food show. We collected 340 pounds of food just from that event, and all that food will go to the Near Food Shelf, which serves the northern part of New Hope.
That is fantastic. The community gym's obviously a very busy place during the winter season as people are a little bit more inside, but they're nudged out of the way right now for some people that come in that like to play outside but can't quite do it yet. Who's inside using that community gym?
Well, we have baseball tryouts there with the Plymouth New Hope Little League. And usually there's snow on the ground. And so they've scheduled this a year in advance. So they're doing the tryouts inside in the gym. It's nice to have it contained, and they never know what the weather's going to be. So the gyms are pretty busy with those kids in there with their tryouts now.
Earlier, we talked about Public Works working with some of the trees. Also, Park and Rec works with the trees, and they're looking at a couple things now, spring planting, and again with the emerald ash borer. What are they busy with at this time of the year?
Well, the city forester is just amazing. So not only is he going out and spraying the trees, but he's also stopping and talking to neighbors and the residents who have a question on the tree on their private property. So I just heard this last week that he came out and actually measured from the curb to the lady's tree, and it turns out it was in fact a boulevard tree by a couple feet, which means that the city's taking it down, not her. So he's going out advising residents what they can possibly do and what sort of trees they should probably be planting when they take their tree down. He's also making sure that people that have had their boulevard tree taken down, they can pick a tree out of a list, and then he schedules all these tree plantings. What they'll do is he'll schedule an area, so they'll do a whole area with the trees, and he needs to know what they want. So this all takes a lot of coordination on his part to get that all done.
And we have talked multiple times about the cost of all this happening around the emerald ash borer. And I understand there's some grants available that might be able to help out in some ways. What is the city looking to maybe get some grant help with?
There's something called the Hennepin County Tree Canopy, and they are offering a grant. So we're in the process of writing that grant. What that will do is help us with the cost of replacing the trees. This is a very expensive proposition. We've put $250,000. This is the third year in our budget just for removing and planting of these trees. There's a lot of them, and we're not done yet.
And one of the places that was hit by the emerald ash borer was the golf course, which again is right behind you. We promised we would talk a little bit more about the mayor's round of golf and maybe your round of golf. So it was open this past weekend, and this has to be somewhat of a record for them. Would that be right?
I think it's pretty close. They were only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know there were absolutely no tee times available on Saturday and Sunday. They were so full. They tell me that the course will stay open, weather permitting. And what that means is if there's frost on the green, they won't open because they need to protect those greens. It's still pretty brown out there, and it's a little bit soggy, so the balls don't roll real well. These are my excuses why I golf poorly on Saturday and Sunday. I needed an excuse, and this is the excuse.
That's right. That's right. I get
course
it there.
it looks really good. It doesn't look as green as it does behind me, but it looks really good, and they're keeping it in good shape. They're not letting any driven carts out there yet because it's just too soft for that, but they are letting pull carts come out.
And this might help out the leagues as well as people get out and play a little early. They might get that bug. And now is the time if they're interested in signing up for leagues at the golf course as well. Is that correct?
Yes, if you were a league player last year, you would have gotten something in the mail. If you did not, you need to call Park and Rec or the golf course to make sure that you get something. They let the leagues sign up first, and that'll happen this week. And then I believe next week, new people can start signing up. But it's really a good when you're on a league, it's really a good way to improve your golf game because you're kind of forced into playing every week. And some people get better, some don't.
And some of us just have fun being on a regular schedule, and it makes you take the time to golf. So that is nice. Hey, over to the ice arena we'll go here, and it is tournament time at the ice arena. What type of young skaters are out there having fun on the ice?
So the Minnesota Hockey Bantam had their regional tournament there this last weekend. So there was no open skating on Friday and Sunday. And now the under 10 girls are having their tournament Tuesday to Thursday of this week. And of course, the youth hockey is always there practicing. So if you want to skate on Friday or Sunday, you really need to call and check to make sure that There's not a tournament going on. Nothing else is going on. So we also have our dance program there that's upstairs, and that's going really well. Um, that's about all that's happening at the golf course
right,
or at the ice arena.
It is a busy place. Let's head to the aquatic park as they start to think about their season, and I suspect they're busy with staffing. Is that correct?
They are. So they got, I thought I read 78% of the people they had last year came back. That's amazing. So now they're getting more job applications, and they're going to start interviewing this week. Came across an interesting statistic. Last year, they sold 8,400 ice cream novelties at the pool. 55,000 people went through that pool last year.
That
And
is amazing.
It should be busy. They're trying all kinds of new things like the top time, and now they're going to try adult aerobics on Sunday evening. So we'll see.
All right, we'll tell you more as they get close to their season. Let's talk a little bit about human resources. We've been talking in the past couple of weeks about a few positions open at the city. Can you give us an update there?
Well, we had two things that were open. One was a police clerk, and the other one was an accounting technician. So both of those have closed now. And what they'll do is they'll take the applications and they score them. And then depending on the scores, they will call the people and do interviews. So those interviews are probably happening later this week and next week.
Let's finish up with a few things from the communications department, always trying to keep people informed and engaged. And one way they keep people informed and maybe involved in activities is through the spring, summer park and rec brochure. That is already in the mail. Is that right?
That's what they told me. I should probably go downstairs and see if I've got any mail. But they said they were mailed out this week. So I would guess sometime this week you should see that. You can't miss it. It's got a cute kid on the cover with a red shirt. It's really, there's all kinds of good stuff in there. Don't throw it away because that will go on through the summer.
All right. As soon as we get it here, I'll start holding it up for you as well so you can see what that looks like. State of the city is something communications has been very busy with, and you had a little different twist on it this year. What can people expect?
Well, we did. Reese, the city manager, and I came into the studios with you, Dave, and did the state of the city there. We thought more people would be able to see it that way than if we just had it at City Hall in the mornings like we've had before. So there's lots of really good information at that state of the city. It's about 30 minutes long. I suggest to make some popcorn, get comfortable. When we know that when it's going to be shown, we'll advertise that. You will, we will. It's just a nice way to see what happened in the city in 2023 and where we're going from here.
And the other part that Beth Kramer and communications at the city thought of is to cut into little pieces. So you might see about a 5-minute version of one part of it that talks about park and rec, or might talk about public works. So be looking for that as it comes out soon. Couple final notes to talk about. This one we've got a chuckle about. There's still a contest out there that involves snow, Mayor, and you're just hoping we get snow.
Well, kind of, I'm hoping.
Sort of.
Sort of. I did drive today or yesterday somewhere, and there was a big pile of snow in the parking lot at Target. So, but you can't use that snow. So I think we're probably going to get some snow. And as soon as we do, put on your boots and get out there really quick. So the whole idea is to build a snowman. It doesn't matter how big or little it is. Name it, take a picture, and send it to Park and Rec for this program. You have till the end of March. If we don't have snow by the end of March, we're just going to have to scratch that one.
All right.
The other one is the Good Citizenship Award, and that goes to the end of March. And that one we don't have to wait for because we know there's lots and lots of good citizens out there doing good stuff just to help the community. So if you're one of them or you live by one of them, please nominate them because we really want to recognize them if we can.
Information about both of those events and contests are on the city's website. You see it at the bottom of the screen, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more about how to get involved and also many other things that are happening in the city. Mayor, thanks so much again for your time, and glad to hear that you had a successful couple rounds of golf, and hopefully you can get back out there soon.
I hope so, Dave. See you then.
And stay with us right here. Here's a look at some of the activities and events and a few reminders of things we've talked about coming up right here in the New Hope community. Have a great day. Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.